Hi, I'm Dr. Arthur Shektman, a plastic surgeon here in Wellesley, Massachusetts. And today I'd like to talk to you about the difference between the smooth and textured breast implants. Now, I'm sure that if you've ever been to a consultation about breast augmentation, your surgeon has discussed the possibility of using one or the other, but it still leaves a lot of patients confused as to what the actual difference is. So, this is an example of a textured implant. As you can see, it is opaque. You really can't see the inside. And if you get a very close look at it, you will see that its surface looks as if it was wrapped into a very fine sandpaper. And this is, of course, done at the factory where a laser makes tiny little nicks in the silicone shell of the implant. Now, there is a purpose to making textured implants, and I will touch on that a little later. Now, in contrast to that implant, here is an example of a very smooth silicone implant. So the first difference you can see is that you can basically see the inside of the implant. It is completely transparent. Inside, you'll see the gel, and of course the shell is also made out of silicone solid. Now, the main difference is that if you look very closely, you will see that the surface of this implant is very smooth. Essentially, it looks like glass or mirror, and it is like that on both sides. So why do we have two different implants? Well, the reason is that when years ago plastic surgery industry was confronted with the possibility of capsular contractures, the engineers decided that they wanted to have a solution to that issue. And the solution was this: a textured implant. It was thought, and rightfully so, that using textured implants would decrease the rates of breast hardening around the implants. And that's exactly what happened. However, for every good, there is a negative. And we also found that there were certain issues with these textured implants. Now, if you saw my earlier video, you heard me talk about anaplastic large cell lymphoma that is associated with breast implants. Well, this type of implant has been found after many studies to be primarily associated with that condition. Now remember, that condition is still extremely rare, and unless you have any signs of and symptoms, you really don't need to worry about it. This type of smooth implant is what is called a golden standard in plastic surgery. Against this implant, all other implants are measured. My personal preference is to use smooth round implants in the vast majority of my patients, unless a patient has a very compelling reason to choose a textured implant.